Hello there, and welcome back to the Disc Connected. It is the very end of 2022, so as I stated, we are going to be going over some of the best releases of the year, and the first video that we're going to be putting out is Best Steelbooks. I happen to be a big fan of Steelbooks. I love the art. I love that we generally get some decent commissioned art that we get on the front of a Steelbook, or lately, actually, we're seeing a trend towards some of those original theatrical posters, which I love. And it seems like this year we've hit a few trends that have been hit hard, and I tend to like a few of them. So I wanted to highlight some of those releases. These are not necessarily going to be ranked in any way. I've got a few different groups of films that I wanted to share, and it is going to be overwhelming if you have not paid attention to Steelbooks this year, but there are a lot that were very nice. I will state right now that many of these are sealed. I've not gotten a chance to get around to watching all of them. I will be doing my best to catch up to as many of them as I can in the next couple months, but there are so many that are coming out all the time. It's rather hard to stay on top of things. So these are just some of the ones that I've appreciated the most, and I will highlight the best that I can depending on each release. And let's dive right in. So the first sort of category that I wanted to break into was just a single film, and it's not a part of any sort of related Steelbook releases or anything like that. The first one that I wanted to go over is Fright Night. This 4K Steelbook is rather nice. It's got the original theatrical artwork on the front, of course. No title, no studio branding, nothing like that, and I love that. I think it looks really nice in the hand. The back of it is pretty decent as well. But the more important thing is what is in the Steelbook. This 4K looks incredible. This disc is loaded with special features. This is easily like one of the better studio catalog release 4Ks from this year that I really appreciated. Unfortunately, the Steelbook is going to highlight one other potential problem for many people, is that there are more and more instances of releases getting 4K releases only in Steelbook. And this is one of them. As of this moment, you cannot get a standard release of Fright Night in 4K, and it is a great disc. So I hope that they open it out for more people to get the opportunity to purchase that one, because it looks fantastic. One that we do have a standard release for is the film Pulp Fiction, and the 4K on this, thankfully, because it's a classic, looks rather good. I am very pleased with the way this film turned out. The artwork, a lot of people did not love. I actually tend to like it. I don't think it's terrible. It's not super iconic, and for a film that has a lot of iconic imagery, that's odd for me. This is the back of that one, but overall, just a great disc. I wish it would have had some original extras on this, because a lot of people involved in the making of this film are still alive, of course, but it is one that looks great, and that is sometimes asking a lot for some of these studios, so I'm glad that it is a nice release. Another one that's a great release is the 4K release of The Lost Boys. This is another one that the art did not please a lot of people, but I really like this one. I think that this is a nice Steelbook. I think we've got some imagery from the film that is fairly iconic, at least. The coloring is really nice on this, especially in the hand. It's a nice matte finish, and it's overall just a very high quality Steelbook that I think people that have not seen the film in quite some time would really appreciate if they picked it up. The next one, this is the first one that's not a 4K Steelbook. This one is a Blu-ray, and that is for The Ring. This is the US remake of The Ring, and the main thing I wanted to highlight about this is just for some of the neat packaging that we're getting. So this is just a cardboard slip to make it look like a VHS tape. When you take it out, you've got the nice TV fuzzy hazy picture that's on this to go with the imagery from the film. It's a nice Steelbook. Unfortunately, that's all I can really say. It's the exact same disc that we've had for years. I would have liked to see some sort of upgrade for this one. I really enjoy this film, and I think a lot of people that enjoy horror would agree that this is one of the better releases, especially of that era of horror, because unfortunately we had a little bit of a downturn from the late 90s into early 2000s for horror. So The Ring, Love that film. It's a very nice, aesthetically pleasing steelbook. The rest of this short pile I've not gotten a chance to view yet, but I just wanted to share that these are some of the better releases for artwork that I've liked, or for some other reasons, and just highlight a few things about them. First one is the 4K of Event Horizon. This obviously came out in a 4K restoration from Scream Factory, and then the studio put it out themselves in this steelbook. I had watched the 4K transfers from Scream Factory, which is why I wasn't clamoring to watch this, but I love this film, and all the reviews said that it was looking great, and this steelbook actually was very difficult to find pretty much immediately, and now they are re-releasing it. So that's great that more people will be able to get their hands on this. It does have one of those fancy plastic slipcovers on there, and it's just a overall nice looking release. I wish they would have used maybe slightly different art, but can't complain too much for that. This one I'm actually probably going to be watching very soon. This is the 4K of Heavy Metal and a standard Blu-ray of Heavy Metal 2000, which is odd because when they first announced this, they said that both were going to be in 4K, and then they sort of walked that back upon release. Now, the reason this one is still sealed is because I've already watched this 4K disc with someone else, and I didn't feel the need to pop this one in again. I like this steelbook. I like that they went with the exact sort of imagery that you want associated with this film, and it's just a overall good release. Another film that I had watched immediately upon this getting a 4K release, but not in this steelbook, that is Heat, and this is obviously just one of the best films of all time. And to get this in a decent looking 4K, it wasn't like dazzling, something that I'm gonna use as reference quality for a 4K release. It still looks pretty good. I'm happy with the release. I'm very happy with the film. I'm glad that this got a nice steelbook and that people can revisit one of the best films of all time. Another one that I wanted to shout out in the same way is Starship Troopers. This is a really fun movie. I think that this is one of the better steelbooks of the year, primarily for this gorgeous art. I love the way this one looks, and the 4K here, I believe, was a slight upgrade over a previous 4K release. I think this actually updated the audio or something like that, and it's supposed to be pretty great. Next one, I just love this film, and actually for the next two, that is the case. And I'm kind of shocked that both of these got 4K upgrades this year. This first one a little less so, but this one is The Untouchables on 4K. Steelbook is pretty decent, and it is just a classic film. I like Kevin Costner in this quite a bit. This is a really nice cast. We got Andy Garcia and Robert De Niro really killing it this film, and then of course Sean Connery. And just a wonderful release, and one that I am pretty happy with. This was put out by Paramount this year, who has been, unfortunately, rather hit or miss with 4K restorations. It seems like for every one that they put out that looks great on 4K, they put one out that looks fairly mediocre and is barely an upgrade over the Blu-ray release, and in some cases, even a slight downgrade. So this is one that I'm glad that it looks... It definitely looks a lot better in 4K. I think they could have done better, but it's a decent release overall. Another one shocked the hell out of me when this got announced, but this is Juice on 4K, and I am so glad that we got this film. This is a film that I watched quite a few times when I was younger. I grew up in Southern California, and this was like required viewing. There's a few of these. Menace to Society comes to mind immediately. That was put out by Criterion, but really nice 4K for Juice here, and a film that I think more people should revisit if they've not seen this in quite some time or ever. This one is a very timely release. The day this video goes out, this will actually have just come out today, and that is Terrifier 2. This is a movie that I saw in theaters, and one that is going to be on top of a lot of people's favorite horror from 2022 list. It's nowhere near my top from 2022, but it's a fun movie. I'm glad I have it. This was oddly a Walmart exclusive release, and this is one of the releases that will highlight another issue, and that is the fragmentation of some of these releases. This got a Walmart exclusive steelbook, a Best Buy exclusive 4K release, and then an Amazon exclusive special edition. Supposedly, I've not picked up the Amazon release. I don't know if there's any difference in special features yet. Still looking into that, but it is really odd that we're getting these sorts of exclusives that seem to obviously try to rile up the collector's market into buying multiple copies. And with a very popular film like this, a lot of people sadly will, which will reinforce that with some of the studios. But Terrifier 2, it's a fun movie. If you can get it, take a look at it. And yeah, it's a nice looking steelbook. It's, I think, better than the 4K slipcover art, in my opinion. Next thing I wanted to hit is I am a sucker for themed branding, or continuing the same sort of brand rather nicely across a franchise or a group of films that go together for whatever reason. The main one that really hit it out of the park for me this year was the Godfather trilogy. These are all brand new 4K steelbooks. That is the art for the first one, and obviously the most iconic quote on the back. The 4K discs on these look great. They are astonishing upgrades. I'm super glad that they came out incredible. But the real beauty behind the actual steelbooks that I wanted to highlight is the continuing trend of these watercolor paintings. So here is part 2 and what that cover looks like, and finishing up with the Godfather Coda. This is part 3. Now, one thing that I will say is that these are actually slightly a step back if you're a huge fan of special features compared to the 4K trilogy set or the big 4K collector's edition, because this does not have all of the special features on these. They are sorely missing quite a few of them. There is no Blu-ray disc of special features on any of the releases, so you are missing out if you only get these 3 steelbooks. But if you don't care about the special features, or you already have all your special features on the old Blu-ray releases and you're keeping those, this actually might be a really nice affordable way to upgrade to the 4K disc, because these first of all, they're beautiful, but then second of all, they've been insanely cheap. Like the first 2, I believe, were down to $13 at Best Buy and Amazon and a few other places. The third one seems to be hovering around $18, but it's a really nice price for brand new 4K releases of some of the best films of all time. Another one that has really impressed me this year that I have actually started to show my kids, which has been really nice, is the Indiana Jones releases. And these 4K discs look great. They had a previous 4K set that came in this white case that was honestly really terrible. These are much better, and I'm glad that we got the theatrical posters on steelbooks. They look wonderful. I honestly, the 4K restorations are very good, especially for the first couple. I think the third one is actually great, maybe the best out of the 3. But the continuing trend of using the theatrical posters is really nice across this entire set. I only got those first 2 out to show, but it is just a welcome adjustment for a franchise that is about to see a new film come out next year. And I honestly hope that we get that brand new one with the theatrical poster that is very similar as well. These next 2, these are, I believe, very difficult to find nowadays. They went out of print fairly quickly. 2 anniversary editions that were both released this year with very similar covers, both 4K restorations that look incredible. The first one is Lawrence of Arabia, and this is gorgeous coloring. The steelbook for this looks amazing in the hand. This Lawrence of Arabia release is actually very solid on the inside. We don't see a lot of these for the 4K releases where they come like this with the spindle, but we've got 2 4K discs and 2 Blu-ray discs, and just incredible artwork that is really, really nice looking. It's even better when you highlight it by putting it next to the other one that came out right at the same time, which is the Bridge on the River Kwai. And again, the coloring on this looks amazing. Really solid discs in this release, and one that I wish more people had a chance to get, because it was so limited that you have to truly hunt down some of these releases if you want them. And a lot of them, they're selling out on pre-order, which really is not great. Next, I want to highlight a company that is, again, sort of hit or miss with the 4K restorations, but they are incredible with their steelbook releases. And I don't believe this is all of them for the year, but these are either some of my favorite artworks. This is some of the discs that I've loved the most from this company, and just all around really, really remarkable releases from Lionsgate. First one I want to go over is The Punisher, and the main reason why I love a lot of these Lionsgate steelbooks is they come with that protective slipcover, but they are incorporating the art. So when you take that skull off and it is a part of that art there, and then there's artwork underneath it that interacts as well. The backsides of their steelbooks look incredible. That is one Angel Heart. Love this disc. It is a great looking 4K. Here is that artwork on the inside, which is just really nice. I love the detail in this one. And again, just a really great 4K disc for that. This one, Hell or High Water. Love this movie, and this was actually an upgrade for me. I only had like the original Blu-ray that came out for this, I believe. Next one, this one came out very early this year, and that was Requiem for a Dream in 4K. And again, just the sleeves that come off that interact with the artwork. I love that. I love the way that they make them look. This one was huge for me because I love this film, and it completely leapfrogged over Blu-ray in the US at least. I think there was an Australian Blu-ray that came out first, but the Limey went from DVD all the way up to 4K, and it is a gorgeous release. The disc looks amazing. The Steelbook is a beautiful release. Hope more people check that out. Artwork is a little bland on that one, and I get that, but the disc itself really makes up for that. The next one, this is probably one of my least favorite pieces of art from the year, and that is Reservoir Dogs. I really don't love this. I don't love that they went with a digital painting for the art on this. However, the whole interacting steelbook where you take that off and you've got the title below where the ear was cut off, that's kind of cool, I gotta be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of difficult to look at this and even see what actor that's supposed to be in the film. But the big thing from this, the takeaway, the 4K looks incredible. I really expected Pulp Fiction to look better than Reservoir Dogs, but I'm very impressed with the Reservoir Dogs 4K. It looks great. Next one, Hurt Locker in 4K. Really good movie, but the artwork on this, genuinely fantastic. I like this steelbook very, very much, but not quite as much as this one, which is the La La Land steelbook. And this one, just absolutely beautiful. The color on this is astonishing. It truly pops in every way. But even better, look at the back of this. I mean, gorgeous art on this, and really good film, obviously. Next one that they put out I wanted to highlight was Punisher Warzone. How even one of the sequels that a lot of people did not love got a really nice steelbook, really good artwork overall. Love their coloring on some of these, and how they seem to highlight the releases as an actual art piece. Next one, this one is a great steelbook, Warrior. This is a release that came out just a few months ago, and looks really nice. I like this one a lot. These last few have not gotten to watch the 4Ks yet, but this is once again where I wanted to highlight that some of these are exclusively released in one store, primarily Best Buy, as a 4K disc. And that really sucks. It sucks that a lot of people don't have access to those 4K discs, and they go with the Blu-ray, especially if they don't like steelbooks, which a lot of people don't. This first one that did that is Clerks 3. A lot of people have kind of not liked this art, and I actually really like the coloring on this, and I'm very excited to see this movie, watching that soon with the wife. This next one, 310 to Yuma. I watched this movie fairly recently, so I just not watched the 4K disc yet. And then this one, fairly recent release. This is Highlander in 4K. Glad that this one is getting out there, and a lot of fantasy seeming to get 4K upgrades with like Dragon Slayer coming and a few others. This last set from Lionsgate is a franchise that I know they're not incredible films, but they're nostalgic for my wife and I. We saw some of these with some really great experiences with some good friends, and I didn't have a good release of The Hunger Games, so I got this collection for us to be able to put up, and the next time I watch it, it'll be in glorious 4K. Before I present the last stack here, I did want to highlight premium releases. I don't think I got any brand new premium releases this year except for Grindhouse, the Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez movies, and I already had an old steelbook for that, so I'm glad that I got that release. But it is one that it's not like mind-blowing. It's just something that for me, it's one of my favorites from them, so I wanted to have it. But premiums are incredible. There's been a lot of really great releases this year, and I hope that the people that have been continuing to go down the premium route have loved them. And when it comes to premium steelbooks, there's a lot to love. They are absolutely killing it. One of these you might consider a premium in a way, but we're going to dive into that in just a second. And that's because the last category I wanted to cover is the like limited edition steelbook with the hard chipboard box that they slip into. And one that, like I said, you might be able to consider this a premium release is in the UK. We got really great releases of the Batman films. So this is the 1989 Batman with Nicholson and Keaton. And as you can see, it is a hard box. On the inside, when you take these out, they've got the Steelbook. And this art probably isn't going to be super great in this lighting, but I actually really like it. They're subtle, minimalistic, but nice releases. You got Jack Nicholson on the back. And the special sauce that really make these nice is in this little package here, and you can see everything that comes in that on the back of this release. So we've got a 14-page photo book, reproduction of 2 posters on a 2-sided poster, 5 lobby cards, 5 photo cards, and 2 door panels with a Batman-themed envelope to hold them all. And these got special features on the discs. These are not just a bare bones disc with the film all repackaged together. So they put out 5 of these. They put out like the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman and Batman Returns, and I believe that's all of them, but they are all really nice and all themed together to look great. So these are ones that if you are a massive Batman fan, I would personally, I would seek them out. I think that they are absolutely worth it. The films look great on 4K. And the rest of these are ones that I wanted to throw out there, all from the same company that really kill it with these limited edition steelbooks, and that is Arrow Video. Obviously, if you've been watching this channel for the last couple of months, you know how jazzed I am about this release. Robin Hood, The Prince of Thieves. I love this movie with Kevin Costner. I think that it's underrated. I think that it's so much better than people give it credit for. On the inside of this hard box, we have a really nice booklet. We've got a nice double-sided poster that Arrow always gives us. And then this just absolutely stunning piece of artwork on this steelbook. I love this release. It looks really good in 4K. I am very happy that they put this out. It is one of my favorites from the year, and one that I am eager for more people to reassess in 2022. Obviously, Kevin Costner was never going to win an award for best accent or anything, but it's a special movie, and I love it. It's a lot of nostalgia, and I get that. Moving on from there, I am a big fan of erotic thrillers, and I actually just watched this 4K disc this last week, and wanted to highlight this one, and then another one that got another US release, but you'll see in just a second. The first one of these 2 is Wild Things from Arrow. It looks great on 4K. Absolutely incredible release. Just like Robin Hood, we have a booklet, we have a poster, but the artwork, again, just a really nice presentation, digital painting on both sides. And this one, I got the UK release that came out last year, but if it had came out this year, it would still make like one of my top of the year lists, because it is an incredible film. So if you are in the US, make sure that you are keeping an eye on True Romance. This movie looks incredible on 4K from Arrow, and it is absolutely worth picking up. This release with the steelbook looks fantastic. Really good booklet in here, lots of great extras, and 100% worth your time and energy. And that's all I've got for Steelbooks for 2022. I did want to shout out a few that I either don't have, or they are in the collector's room here somewhere, and I need to track them down because I am a little unorganized at the moment. But Slapshot from Shout Factory, really happy that got a Steelbook release so that more people could pick that up. Synapse's Tombs of the Blind Dead is supposed to be an incredible release, and obviously Don May is great at restorations. I still have some of the previous releases of the Tombs of the Blind Dead series, so I wasn't really eager to jump into buying that one. And then also there's rumors that Arrow is working on a full Tombs of the Blind Dead set. We'll see if that ever happens. Another one that got another Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook that I don't appreciate that it was exclusive is Bob's Burgers. Love that show, and the steelbook for that is a great piece of art, and I'm glad that it got a release on 4K and in a steelbook, but not happy that it's exclusive like that. One that I don't have yet is the Mad God steelbook from RLJE, and Shudder is supposed to be great. I need to watch it. I need to pick that up. I've got no excuse. And finally, 4K upgrades for Paranorman and Coraline. I think the steelbook covers for those might literally be the best art of the year. They look amazing, and I'm sure that in the hand the colors are even better. I love those films, and I'm very happy that they got a 4K upgrade. Not so happy that it happened a year after Shout Factory put out the Blu-ray, but that seems to be the story with a lot of these labels this year. And for more stories like that, let's meet back here tomorrow, and we'll go over some more from the best of 2022. I hope you enjoyed that. If I missed any that you really want to shout out, or you got some great premiums this year, let me know in the comments below, and we'll discuss there. Till next time, from one collector to all of you, have a good night.